here appearing by Zoom, Jacob Putman, Chris Gatewood, and Lance Long on behalf of the District Attorney's Office, Mr. Parks on behalf of Mr. Davis, and then Mr. Davis obviously is here, and Mr. Dobbs is he associated with one of the parties, or is he just no? All right. So we'll go ahead then, and we're set today for a status hearing. We had talked about upcoming court dates, and that's the first thing we want to address. We've changed our schedule slightly. We still have the court's voir dire set for July 29th. Individual voir dire to begin August 16th with a jury trial start date of September 28th. Does that sound right to everybody? And are there any problems with those dates as of right now?
For the defense, no problems, and those are correct as far as I can tell.
That's what we understood, Your Honor.
All right. Then let me turn first to the state. Mr. Putman, does the state have any issues that we need to take care of today that we need to be either resolving quickly or planning for in the future?
Two things. One, as far as planning for the future, I just know because I read it in the paper that the city of Tyler has some plans to tear down Harvey Hall. I don't know if they're going to tear it down before we're going to use it or not. So as far as thinking about alternatives in the event they do tear down Harvey Hall, one suggestion I thought we could do would be to, instead of having one large panel, we could do a series of smaller panels in the central jury room here. Or work out some sort of schedule where we summon multiple smaller panels rather than one big panel. But I have no idea, obviously, if the city's really going to tear down Harvey Hall or not. But I did read that in the paper. So,
and I will mention that in Collin County, fairly recently, we did that morning and afternoon, 2 days in a row, and it worked out pretty well if that comes to pass.
I think that may be a good option. We also have been investigating alternative sites that may be available to us. So we'll try to let y'all know where we are on that as quickly as possible. We did get a call from Harvey Hall who told us that their plan is to start demolition much earlier than they had expected. So we are actively looking for another site, and I appreciate the suggestion on doing multiple panels. That may work just as well and may in fact be easier ultimately.
The only other thing I had to discuss today is, I know we talked about it in chambers, but I thought it might be just a good idea to put it on the record, so it's clear everybody was aware. The court brought up an issue for I guess for all parties last time, and state didn't have a problem with it. I just thought it'd be good if it was on the record.
Yeah, and I was gonna take that up with Mr. Parks as far as any potential conflicts regarding my familial relationship with Christus employees, whether that was going to be an issue. And Mr. Parks, I'll go to you to either address that, or if there are other issues you'd rather address first, we can do that as well.
No, that's fine, Judge. Mr. Hayes and I have talked about it, and we don't view it as an issue, quite frankly. And for our part, other than the thing that we've already discussed, we have no other issues to bring up at this hearing.
Okay. And then, so let me just Mr. Davis, I'm not asking you to say anything at this point, but just so it's clear on the record, the relationship we're all talking about, my mother is an employee of Christus Mother Francis, and I, of course, disclose that to the state's lawyers and to your lawyers, and want to make sure you're aware of it too. Sounds like it's not an issue for anybody, so we'll be going forward as planned. Certainly, Mr. Putman or Mr. Parks, if that changes, feel free to let me know at any point.
Sure.
So having covered those issues, it sounds like there's nothing else. We're all in agreement on the new dates. I will let y'all know as soon as we can if we have an alternative site for jury selection, or if we're going to try to do multiple panels. Again, I appreciate y'all's flexibility on that issue. Mr. Putman or Mr. Parks, is there anything else we need to take up this morning?
No, Your Honor.
I don't have anything else, Your Honor.
All right, then we'll be in recess on this matter.